Hello, this is Dan Farisi, Group Editor, Commercial and Security with Emerald. So happy to be joined today by Aaron Leiker, who is Vice President of Product Management Operations Centers with Haivision. Topic of conversation is, of course, command and control, aligning with our command and control deep dive, which will be all over both commercialintegrator.com and securitysales.com throughout the month of August, as well as in the August issue of CI plus SSI. Haivision is, of course, an industry leader, which is why we invited Aaron on to discuss command and control trends and other topics relevant to the market. Thank you so much, Aaron, for joining me today.
Thank you, Dan.
So let's get right into it. Do you want to talk about some of those top line trends that you're seeing right from the trenches of the command and control category today? What is topical? What is hot? What is trending?
Yeah, I think what is trending is, really a continuation of something that started a long time ago, but it's really caught a lot of steam, I would say, in the last 3 to 5 years. It's a continuation of the IP-based, environment, AV environment. Uh, you know, Gone are the like traditional legacy switching and heavy code concepts in favor of the IP video distribution, IP audio distribution, um, software-defined environments. All of this was kind of necessary for the command and control consumer. You know, they're needing to get more data, more information, more situational awareness from different places. And you were not going to be able to meet that requirement with those systems. So almost across the board, everybody has gone to who's dedicated to this particular marketplace has kind of switched over to that kind of I would say technology stack. I think that's going to continue. Um, if you get a little further into the future, you might start to see how AI influences things, but you don't really see too much of that yet. I think it's still very much in its infancy. Um, but that technical trend, it's been around for a while, but it's kind of here to stay. It's definitive, I think, at this point, and we've been doing it that way for quite some time. I would say we kind of entered the software defined concept in 2011 with the Command 360's predecessors, and really kind of adopted the IP video flow. I would say as of like 2017 within the command and control concepts. Obviously, Haivision has been in the IP video space since its inception, but as far as like the command and control aspects of it, we really dug deep at that point.
Absolutely. And you've done great in terms of anticipating my next question, which was essentially how Haivision and its solutions are leaning into the trends that you've just identified and helping advance mission critical spaces and their objectives. As you said, Haivision is not really a Me Too kind of a company. You've been doing this for years now, this software defined approach. Do you want to talk a little bit more about how you are leading the field, how you have been leading the field and leaning into these trends?
Yeah, so our customers were challenging us to connect them with content in greater spaces, connect them with their colleagues, possibly in different parts of the world. That wasn't really necessary, or it wasn't really possible with long cables and big switchers. We knew we had to go that direction. I think the other major factor, which is not necessarily, I would say, a technology trend, has just been, from an industry consolidation standpoint, specifically within the AV industry. Um, what we've noticed is there's been a consolidation among, there's been fewer bigger integrators. And with that has come some interesting things where the integrators that have really taken an active role in understanding the command and control market. They're great at it. They anticipate the customer's needs. They understand all the aspects of building a command and control system versus, like, let's say, building a classroom or auditorium system or a conference room. The needs are quite different. What we also noticed is there's now this like underserved group of customers who maybe aren't aware of those dedicated command and control teams, but still have great relationship with their customers. And we found that using that software-defined approach, we can kind of lower some of the burden for them, like network onboarding, training, um, expose more of our functionality to users in a different way that's more understandable,
Mhm.
so that they're not continually having to go back and make adjustments, themselves, which is very draining to both the customer and the integrator themselves. And then we suspect that's also going to help our more dedicated groups, which we love and cherish and put a lot of investment into. So that's kind of our way of helping both those groups who, maybe only get one or two projects like this a year, maybe one every few years, right? We still think they should have, they have a great relationship with their customers. Um, you know, they're going out, they're finding the best solution for their customers, but we want to make sure that our product can, they have a good shot at integrating our product in a meaningful way that creates a successful customer outcome.
That is so important because certainly in reporting out our command and control deep dive, all of my experts really reinforced to me that command and control is a very different kind of a solution area from, as you say, like a classroom or a conference room or something like that. There are nuances and beats and rhythms that are really native to command and control. And it can be difficult, I would imagine, for some integrators to navigate that learning curve. So they really need their supplier partners, their vendor partners, to be there shoulder to shoulder with them and giving them tools that they can deploy effectively and well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I think some of the biggest components of that learning process comes down to just kind of quality management and training. So, a successful project really comes down to design, obviously first selecting the right products, ideally products that are meant to serve that space. And that's a big kind of industry challenge. A lot of them are just going to what they know. They use it in this other application, and the command and control application looks kind of similar. I'm putting video sources on displays, but it's also very different. So we're building a comprehensive like training program to kind of help educate on those nuances, just to make sure everybody's armed with the information of like why lots of adapters are not a good thing.
Mm.
Very long cables are not a good thing, right? Understanding resolutions and color depths and all these things that have an effect on all these things, racking equipment properly and in a supported way, even though it doesn't necessarily impact our product specifically. It's something that's important, and these and it's not as well covered in the industry as we'd like it to be.
As we begin to wrap up the interview, Aaron, I guess my last question is, what do you expect the mission critical and command and control spaces of tomorrow to look like? You said at the outset that AI is maybe on the horizon, not really fully being deployed into these spaces yet, but how would you say the market is evolving even now, and how do you expect it to evolve in the coming 2, 3, 4, 5, even 10 years?
Yeah, I mean, I think, obviously anybody who didn't weave AI into that conversation, would be missing something. I'll back up a second though first. What we're starting to see is a kind of a convergence between KVM technologies and video wall processing. They're starting to look very similar. Our product is even kind of going a lot along that so that the experiences of one product maybe aren't that different from the other. We're definitely headed in that direction. As far as like, of the, command center of tomorrow, yeah, AI is going to be a part of that. Agentic AI could go find and condition data or filter data for, operators in the space. I see it as an important element of supporting these systems, possibly even using things like Command 360 for, on behalf of the customer. So that's definitely coming. We don't know when. I don't think anyone can determine, when that'll happen, but it's definitely a major factor. And I think the thing that's going to, continue is just innovation, specifically on the user interface front. I mean, the one thing that like I always think through is, all of our customers go home and they have a mobile device. They all watch, streaming services. They're like a lot of people are grounded by similar experiences, and to try to think through that and how we could apply that so that when someone gets to our technology, it's even if it's the first time they've ever touched it ever, it's familiar, you know. So that's kind of a yeah, I suspect those types of UI trends will continue.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. And I appreciate you, Aaron, for shedding so much light on trends you're seeing in command and control. And of course, how Haivision is and remains at the vanguard of those trends, those software defined approaches, and other ways that are making command and control centers more effective, more functional for operators, and kind of shaping them toward a really exciting future. So thank you so much for joining me, Aaron. I really appreciate it.
Well, thanks for having me.
Pleasure to have been joined by Aaron Leiker, who is Vice President of Product Management Operations Centers with Haivision. As I said at the outset, please do check out our Command and Control deep dive, which will be on both commercialintegrator.com and securitysales.com throughout the month of August and in the August issue of CI plus SSI. My name is Dan Farisi, Group Editor, Commercial and Security with Emerald, and I encourage you to check out our websites regularly for more exciting command and control related content from recognized industry leaders and transformative figures like Aaron and Haivision. Thank you so much.